Hi, I don't think anyone's watching this. I figure I've never tried it before, so a good time to try is when no one's awake or on Facebook. So I just wanted to see how this would come out, just to share a couple of ideas on Shavuot. You know, I was having this amazing conversation the other day with my son, and one of the really funny things about little kids is that the things that they think about as little kids, the way that they interact with people, is completely based on the way that they understand the world. And sometimes the things that they understand about the world are so set by the way they've come to understand things. I'll just give you an example as to what I mean with this. I'm sitting in bed the other day, and I was watching a game on NBA, and my Yitzchak, he's 5 years old. He climbs into my bed and he goes, he looks at the players there, and they're playing, they're jumping, they're shooting, etc., etc. And he goes, Abba, he goes, pointing to the screen, he goes, are they cool? And I was like, oh my gosh, are they cool? I didn't really think much about the question. I was like, yeah, they're cool. They're cool. And Yitzchak goes, yeah, they're cool. And it was at that moment I realized, like, I had just given him the definition of sportsmen being the coolest people in the world when, they aren't always the best, role models and stuff like that. So, like, anyway, I caught myself and I was like, you know what, I'm going to fix it. He's only 4 at the time. He's 4 years old. It was a little while. He just turned 5. He's only 4 years old. It'll be fine. I'll fix it. And how do I fix it? I wait a minute. We're watching the game together. A couple shots, this way, a couple shots that way. And he goes, and I say to him, Yitzchak, but you know who's cooler? He goes, who? I said, you know who's cooler? Tzaddikim, like, really righteous people who do mitzvot and learn Torah and stuff like that. It was so cute. And he goes, yeah, tzaddikim are cool. And I was like, yes, score. I've, turned it around. And he goes, Abba, tzaddikim are cool because they play more basketball. You see what I mean? It had become ingrained in his head that this is exactly the way these things worked. And once that was there, it's kind of like a script that you need to write over. And this idea is something which is so important. All about this holiday of Shavuot, we're sitting here, we decorate our homes with these flowers, and we do all sorts of crazy things in order to make this holiday really beautiful. But the flowers are there because when the Jewish people received the Torah, God gives covers the mountain in flowers. And why is that so important? Because at that moment, the Jewish people were really being born. We were being given a chance to take on this whole new message, this whole new lifestyle, being taught the laws of Shabbat, of Judaism, all this kind of stuff. And in those minutes, it was important to make a really strong impression. So God, so to speak, laid the groundwork by giving us flowers. And I want to say, this is so cool. The other day, my son says to me, he goes, Abba, I want to be poor. I said, you want to be poor? What happened to the capitalist dream? This is not a good Jewish boy, right? And he goes, yeah, I want to be poor. I said, why do you want to be poor? He says, because I want to have a cow. Like, what? You want to have a cow? Why do you think you have a cow if you're poor? He goes, like Jack. I was like, Jack? He goes, yeah, like Jack and the Beanstalk. Like, in that story, there's a poor family and they have a cow. And that was enough to be able to set the ideas that he had about what a poor person was. And I thought to myself, this idea about teaching children, especially young children, the right things when they're young, whether it's in school or in synagogue or whatever, it's so important. And I think that's also part of why, as we grow up as a nation, God is making, so to speak, sure that we're taking on the message of how special it is to be Jewish. I want to just say, before we kind of wrap this up, it's a bit of a short one, from everyone over here, you're watching your Facebook feed, and one bit after the next, you're scrolling down, and you're seeing, so many people talking about what happened in Tel Aviv. And again, I don't know if you and I have the same friends, but a lot of my friends are saying about how they went tonight down to the market, and they're sitting there, and they're having a drink, and they're enjoying it, and they feel safe, and et cetera, et cetera. And I was just thinking one thing. I was thinking, what an amazing people we are, that this is our response to terrorism, to pain, to anger, to suffering. It's just a question of putting out, feeling more safe, going out with friends, enjoying that time. Now, if Shavuot is the time when the Jewish people receive the Torah, if that's the time that we decide for ourselves that this is what embodies the Jewish people, I thought, why not ask the people here, the people that I interact with, what is it that represents for you your Judaism? For some people, you can kind of comment on the bottom. For some people, Judaism is chicken soup. For some people, Judaism is synagogue. For some people, Judaism is the 99 of the Havdalah. There's so many different things that Judaism is, but all of those things, whatever they might be, they are all about the day that we're about to enter into, because this is the day that we become the Jewish people. When we leave Egypt, we stop being slaves. But when we receive the Torah, that's when we become Jews. So I don't know what it is for you, but I'll tell you, for me, one of the most special things in the world is right where it started. The first Jew, Avraham Avinu, his special mitzvah is to welcome Jews into his home. And as I'm seeing some of the names scroll down over here, some of the students that have been in my home for Shabbat, I can't think of a mitzvah that I love more than that one. And I want to wish each and every one of you the ability to one day have a home where you can welcome people in, you can make them feel safe, make them feel included, make them feel like they're part of this amazing people that we are privileged to be part of. If this works, if people enjoy this, if I get some good feedback, maybe we'll kind of do this as a regular feature before Shabbat, a little bit of inspiration before the big day. I want to wish you an amazing Shavuot, full of beautiful flowers, full of smiles, delicious cheesecake without ever gaining a single pound. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.